Nicholas.
Gregory.
How are you?
Bad, mate, not bad.
Right. Just get the introductions out of the way. Greg P, 100% old school, and I'm joined by the
Nicky G.
the myth, the legend.
I don't know about legend, mate. I'm not Dan T, am I?
Dan T is a legend in different ways. You're the only DJ that's part of the group that's actually made a living out of DJing.
Me? I wouldn't say made a living, stole a living.
Fair enough.
Wrong people for 20 years.
So Nicky G, is it Nicky G SBA still, or is it still Nicky G?
Nicky G SBA on Facebook. Yeah, I can't change it.
Oh, can't you?
No, I don't know how to change it.
I changed mine. I'm sure I changed mine. So
You've changed loads of things. At one point, I had a fucking picture of Kyle P and the phone number on my phone at one point.
Did you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. You can
I don't know what you've done then, but
you can get the blame then for anything.
Yeah.
God knows, I wouldn't even like to say. So yeah, Nicky G, how are you, my friend?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Is it Nicky G or Nicky Grove?
Nicky Grove, my name is.
I know your name's Nicky Grove, you twat.
Yeah.
What are you DJing
Well,
in?
you never know, innit? My name was Nicky G, innit?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Nicky Grove. Nicky G, most people know me as.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like a guru to everyone.
Okay.
No, been playing music for 20 years. I'm getting paid for it.
Is that all?
Yeah, 20 years.
Because I've been doing it for...
I'm younger than you, aren't I?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I didn't even realise that you were younger than me until you gave me your email address, and you're like 4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So up until that point, I didn't even realise that you were younger than me, to be honest.
Yeah, just look really old, innit?
Well, you've had some tough gigs, haven't you? But we'll go into those in a second anyway. So my introduction of you, Nicky. My God, we've been, even though me and Dan have been friends the longest, we've actually been, in the music industry, we've actually been the closest, haven't we? Because we were both part of the SBA. Swansea Baseline Alliance, as we thought it was, but everybody else thought we were just Swansea's biggest assholes.
Yeah.
And it was
quite true for a lot of us as well.
To be honest, truth for all of us. How many of us was in the SBA?
7, 8 of us.
Not sure.
You, Kyle P, Kalo,
Alistair.
Lloyd and Alistair.
Yeah. And for a period, we pretty much run it, didn't we? Yeah, we pretty much ran it for a long time in Escape Room 3. Kept the Escape open for probably 5-6 years.
The last 5 or 6 years, yeah.
Yeah, well, everywhere, all other scenes. But and you will know this more than anything, and I think I'll probably talk about it with Justin. The scene just seems to go around in circles.
Oh, constantly, yeah.
Because now I can see that, like, house is coming back in now in a massive way. And then I'd imagine a garage may even follow it.
Well, I've been speaking with Kyle, and Kyle's going on, as you know, because you've had the messages off him about all the new gadgets and stuff.
That girl group that he keeps harassing on Instagram, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of new gadgets just coming through, and it's some of it's really good, like, you know.
I've kind of like shut off from that now, as I think it's done for me. I've been there, seen it, I've done it.
Yeah.
It's time to move on. With you, and I'm not even lying when I say this, you are definitely Wales's best multi-genre DJ by a country mile. So you have to keep your hand in that sort of stuff, don't you, to keep yourself not relevant, but you need to keep yourself current, don't you?
Yeah, well, it was when I was working Quids in and stuff like that, it was, you could stick to one style and it was easy.
Yeah.
But then moving down to Wine Street, then it's so different constantly. You know, 1 week is one thing, 1 week is another thing.
Yeah.
You just got to change constantly.
Well, how have you managed to stay on top of that?
Just a lot of people give you shit for it, but as long as you play stuff commercial, stuff on Wine Street, you're always going to have a crowd. And as long as there's a crowd there, you know, I couldn't give a shit if I was playing Barbie Girl, as long as there's a crowd there and they pay me at the end of the night. And at the end of the day, the more people that are there, the more money I get. So
yeah, is it performance related, you're on?
I get a bit of both. I get a set wage off Naz, and then obviously, if I have a good night there, then he'll chuck me a bit extra.
Okay, that's nice.
If it's quite a crap night, he'll have a moan and try and give me less, and I'll just have to fuck off.
So are you back now in, what's it called, Savannah's now? Is it Savannah, the old life spot?
Savannah's now, yeah. Well, I only left there on a Saturday.
Right, okay, I got you.
To go to walkabout, and that went fucking really well.
Like the Albatross, you closed that place down in 6 weeks, didn't you?
Fucking hell, less than that, 4 weeks. But, yeah, no, I am going back there on a Saturday for a minute because it was nice having a Saturday off, like, you know.
Yeah.
It was nice being, when Old School was doing an event, it was nice being there from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and little bits like that, like, because other times I was just getting there, like, up 1, 2 o'clock.
And then you're just jumping on then till finish, weren't you?
Straight on and then finishing.
Well, at least then I can say this. Mrs. P has always said, and I said, oh, come on, we go in. You know what I'm like? As soon as I've finished and I've cashed up, I want to get out of there, don't I? I don't care what time it is. I don't care how many people is there. I don't care how bouncing it is. I just want to go. Because for me, it's just, as soon as I finished and I've counted the money, like all this months and months and months of just graft, it just come to the end then. I think, right, that's it, I want to go. But the night hasn't finished. It's usually only about 2 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Mrs. P is always like, I'm not leaving until I listen to Nicky because you are her favourite DJ.
Well,
behind me,
innit? Say, yeah.
She says behind me, but she's only saying that, I think, because it's her 10-year anniversary tomorrow and she don't want to be in the doghouse. But yeah, you are probably her favourite DJ. So, what got you into music?
Oh, I was about 10 years old, 1995 it was.
Nice.
Calvin, you obviously know Calvin.
Calvin Roberts, yeah?
Yeah, Calvin lives next door to me. His brother was right into the rave scene.
Has he got an older brother?
Yeah, Calvin's got an older brother, Lee.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know him and his younger brother.
Yeah, Lee's about 4 or 5 years older than Calvin.
Right.
And Lee was right into the rave scene, and obviously Calvin pinched one of his tapes.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you give it to me.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, listen to this, it's awesome. So I had to listen to it. Then the usual, then went through school with a Walkman on constantly, didn't learn anything. My old girl was a manageress in Dora's down the Marina.
Right.
So when so when she was down there doing the cashing up and stuff like that in the days, obviously I'd go down there, me and Calvin nip up to town, come across a record shop one day and stuck our money together and bought the vinyl and just went in the DJ box and played the vinyl for about 2 hours solid. One side, flipped it over, played the other side, flipped it over. And it just went a bit mental from there then. Calvin got himself a set of decks, a set of SoundLab belt drives.
Yeah.
And then he just started buying records then and playing Happy Hardcore. And just couple of parties.
Yeah.
And then I think I just before I finished school, I was about 15. I was working at McDonald's on Fabian Way at the time.
Yeah.
Just before I left school, bumped into James from Rasputin's in a drive-through.
Slim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And got talking to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, come over with me." So I ended up over there with him.
Right.
A couple of weeks later, then we were both in Quids In. I started off as a light jock.
Yeah.
Most people don't know this, but when I was doing the warm-up the first 2 hours, I couldn't play when anyone was in the room.
Right.
If a bar staff was there, I was fine. I could play all night.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody come through the door, it was like sixth sense. As soon as someone come through the door on the other side, without seeing them, I just start fucking up all the time.
Right.
And stuff like that. And obviously didn't think much of it. Carried on doing the lights then until one day, Mark Dillon's nan was ill and he had to leave.
Yeah.
And he was like, the building was half full. Gordon come down to me and goes, Dylan's gone, you'll have to jump on. I was like, no, I can't do it. And he was like, there's no can't do it. He said, there's nobody else here, you doing it.
Yeah.
And from where'd it come from, man?
How did that set go?
Awesome. Probably one of the best ones I've done.
That's a good thing.
Even though I was bricking it all the way through.
Sometimes you have to be chucked in, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to be chucked in too.
I had a lot of support off the staff as well. You know, all the staff were coming up then at the end saying, oh, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, you know. I suppose if they would have come up to me at the end of it and said, you shit, I probably wouldn't have done it again.
So is that when you secured your DJ residency and quit?
That's when I got onto the DJ side of it then, yeah. I went from being just a light jock then to doing DJing.
So a lot of people will know this, and I didn't know about your mum being manager at Adora's. Your dad's also, well, was, I'm not sure if he still is. He was a head doorman as well, wasn't he?
Stepfather, yeah. He was doorman down Dora's.
Yeah. And
Ritzy's before that. And then he went to work in Walkabout. He's in Walkabout for about 10 years.
Maybe you didn't have a choice, really, did you, about getting into the clubs and bar scene?
No, not really. It was always going to be something I was involved in. You know, I had a couple of, when I was working in Quids Inn, it was a couple of different instances. Bags of records back then. I thought I was a bollocks and they were walking up to the front of the queue.
Yeah.
All the boys who were my age in school, underage, queuing up. I thought I was awesome walking to the front of the queue.
Yeah.
Like a guy monster hopping me going, what the night, boy, you're only a fucking kid, fuck off, like, isn't it? Sorry, mate. And then he's like, you pull a back way, and let you in the back way. I'm like, all right, get sound. just fucking make a twat out of me in front of everyone, innit? Yeah. Show them you're not invincible, innit?
Yeah, it does.
But it's good, because if he wouldn't have had that, I would have turned into more of a prick than I am.
Well, you've got to get down a peg or two sometimes, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So how long have you been DJing for then, Nick?
I've been DJing now, I'd say, since I started, about 25 years.
Right.
But professionally, 20 years. That was my first gig in town when I was about 15, 16. Starting Mrs. P.
She can't hear you, got the thing. Yeah. Nothing gets in the way of her cleaning, unfortunately. Even video bombing. So describe your DJing style.
Primarily, I'm funky house DJs, you know. That's what I started with mainly. I like the more saxophone, piano sort of house stuff. But as I said, I'll put my hand to anything. I'll give anything a go. Apart from electro. When electro come along, that's when I started playing garage.
All right, okay, that's your choice was, is it?
Yeah.
And that's when you became part of the SBA.
Yeah.
I think there's only 4 of us to start off, isn't it? Me, Kalo, Kai, and Lloydie.
Yeah. Then Kyle came along and Alistair, wasn't it?
You were the last one, were you?
I was the last one, yeah.
God, why does everything ever always stop once you jump on it?
Fuck no.
The albatross.
It didn't stop for about 4 or 5 years, that's the one thing. No. It stopped because Kai got old, didn't it?
Well, to be honest, I didn't even want to be part of the SBA. When the boys were like, oh yeah, we're going to all join together. I'm not interested, I'm not bothered.
To be honest, I don't know how I ended up in it. Basically, I got fed up with playing house because it was all electro-y.
Yeah.
Lloydie said to me, he said, oh, you know, jump upstairs in Ice Bar at the time, man, with me.
Yeah.
Playing garage, so I was playing garage up there with him. And
was that before you had a residency in Ice Bar?
No. Back then I left Ice Bar because I went out to Faliraki.
All right, okay.
And I went out there and I was doing a bit out there, but I didn't last long. I fucking come back then. I went out there for someone's wedding. Can't remember who it was, but I ended up getting to know one of the bar owners out there. So obviously I finished Ice Bar and went over there.
Yeah.
And I either finished or it was one of the times Naz fired me. Could be any of them. And So I ended up doing bits upstairs with Lloydie, and then I got Fabian was resident in Tobin's at the time in Port Talbot.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was giving it up, and Lloydie said to me, look, he said, do you want that residency? Fabian's offered it to me. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go up there.
Yeah.
And I went up there then, and next thing I know, I just ended up in with you lot then.
That's it. I don't even know how it came about. I honestly, I don't even remember like Kai ringing me. He's very forceful, isn't he? Greg, you part the SBA. I said, Kai, I'm not. I'm not interested in being part of any group. just leave me do my thing. Give me the bookings. I don't care. I bought you a T-shirt. Yeah, for fuck's sake. Next thing, we're standing outside the skate like a bunch of twats in fucking SBA T-shirts. Remember that?
Yeah. Was it Little Jack, the SBA and Chris Tucker or something when they were on about Fabian?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know Chris Tucker joined the SBA.
Jack Thomas. I haven't heard or seen him in for years.
No, me neither, man. Yeah. I was at Port Talbot 1 minute working.
Yeah.
And then I was in the SBA then the next.
So
I think I went to the base up in Port Talbot, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe.
Part of his plan to take over the world.
Yeah, probably. He's still planning that now as it goes. So, whereabouts? Obviously, you've been in the game a long time. Whereabouts have you played in Swansea then? And I should have asked this to Dan yesterday, to be honest, but he was too busy going on about falling off mopeds and being in parties with gaffer tape stuck to his leg or whatever. It just didn't seem appropriate to bring him down a peg or two.
I've pretty much played everywhere.
Yeah.
I've obviously done Rasputins.
Yeah.
I was in Quids Inn. After Quids Inn closed, I'd done a few guest slots in Zanzibar with Mad.
Yeah.
The engine room opened. Went over there.
Engine room? What was that?
It's Sin City now.
Right.
I went in there. I was in there for a bit.
Was that in between Europa and Sin City, was it?
In between Europa and Sin City, yeah. James. Okay. It was James' place. James bought there.
Right.
And opened it as engine room, and I was there while that was open.
Didn't know that.
After that, then I went down to Ice Bar, and then from there I've just played just about everywhere. Me and James were resident on a Sunday in Play when it first opened.
Yeah.
Obviously Bar 7. I've played in Bank Statement. Picture I've played guest slot in.
Mm-hmm.
Retro Days, I was part of that.
Yeah.
Just about everywhere. I used to do Envy on a Thursday with Mark Dillon.
Yeah.
The only place I didn't play was Jumping Jacks. Yeah, Jumping Jacks, that was it. But I done, obviously I played there when
you weren't playing that sort of stuff then, though, was you?
No. To be honest, I didn't start playing the charty stuff until about 5-6 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, up until then, I was like, it's only house and garage, otherwise I'm not playing anything. And then people were like, well, fine, don't play anything and we won't pay you. And I'm like, all right, then I'll pay it.
Play it. You've got to do it then. So you've named quite a lot of places. So I didn't even know that you played in Faliraki.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, like I said, I went over there for a wedding.
Right.
Got talking to one of the bar owners out there. Can't even remember the name of the bar, but it was awesome. We had a swimming pool in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. And just went over there and I was like, I'm a DJ. And they were like, oh yeah, everyone's a DJ. And I was like, no, I'm DJ in Swansea. And they just gave me a couple of goes there.
Yeah.
And all was good. And I was going to stay out there and, get some work out there and do bits and bobs. And then I just bottled it.
How long was you out there for?
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
So you did actually extend your holiday then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not too bad. Why did you come home?
I don't know. I was still young at the time. I think I was only about 18, 19.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, if I stay out here all the time, I'll lose my work back home. And then if I don't get it back when I might have to get a proper job and do some work.
Yeah, you probably look back now and think you should have stayed, because if you'd have come back and said you played in Faliraki for a season at 18 years of age, I would have done wonders for your profile.
Yeah, but probably not, because I'm not the type of person who chase gigs, if you get me.
Yeah.
When I was between the age of 17 and 23, 24, 25 even, I had such a good reputation. My attitude was, well, fucking people should be approaching me, not me approaching them.
Yeah.
Shit attitude to have, but...
that's kind of how it worked, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
If you approached a venue, because at the time when Garage was flying and we were flying, we'd have offers of everyone.
Yeah.
Come and play for us. In the end, it was like sending the newer members, like Kyle and Alistair, they would go down Poonanar or something and do their thing down there. And we'd have Bar 7, and then somebody else would be doing something else somewhere. And it was a case that people, if you approach people, then you can't negotiate the fee, can you? You can't.
No, exactly. And that's, like, I went from a point where the Inquids, obviously, everything was so good. Yeah. And, everybody knew, you know yourself, you were in the front room. Everybody knew who we were. And, everyone was like, just awesome year, it's brilliant. And then to go and say to people then, I'm looking for a job, I'm a DJ, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, if you're that great DJ, why are you looking for a job?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yeah, balls to it, I got settled in with Ice Bar.
Yeah.
I had a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
And I just stayed there.
And you still there now?
Yeah, still there now.
How long been out? 18. Has he been open 18 years?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, he's been open longer than 18 years, because before I was there, Johnny Griffiths was there. It was actually Johnny Griffiths gave me the job there.
Wow. I didn't know that.
No, 15 years it may be, because wouldn't have been 18. 15 years, yeah. Johnny Griffiths was in there, and Johnny wanted to start working Escape.
Yeah.
So he was chasing a dream, playing Room 2 at the time in Escape.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to finish in Ice Bar. Do you want to take over? And I was like, yeah, sound, fuck it.
You do it. Back in those days, Escape didn't want people to play anywhere else, did they?
No.
I think me and Kalo broke the mold as it goes when it came to that, because it was like, all right, okay, now you're a resident, you're gonna have to stop doing Bar 7. Like, no chance.
Yeah.
We'll stay in Bar 7, and you won't have anybody in your room 3. You just have Kai, and Kai's not going to play all night either. So I think we broke the mold in there, and then that's when you could see then Clifford was starting to play here and there and everywhere. And else.
The first one I remember, obviously I was doing a lot in Escape with Paul on the sound side, so I was running back and forth and doing bits and bobs there. But the first one I remember, I was the Friday night when he done the Garage Nation downstairs.
I played with Sparks and Kai, didn't I?
Yeah, you had set of the night, didn't you, that night?
Yeah, it was...
Garage.
I can't even remember. Did I play Speed Garage? I can't remember.
Yeah, I purely played Speed Garage.
It's all I can remember. I don't even think I was going to play. No, I was going to play, because I can remember me, Kai, and Viper were flying in Cardiff for it.
Yeah, I only remember it because I think it was Steve from Crowbar's car that Kai stuck all flyers on down Main Street, and it went like paste in the rain and stuck to his car.
He did it to mine as well.
He took it to yours, yeah.
I remember I had some, I didn't have it for long. I had like a
Fiat, wasn't it? The Fiat you had?
No, it wasn't a Fiat. It was like an Astra, I think. It was like a yellowy orange Astra.
Was it, yeah?
Yeah, I know people thought they were cool as fuck then, didn't they?
Yeah.
I had a yellowy orange Astra, some like 1,600. I couldn't afford the petrol for it. Couldn't afford the insurance for it. and yeah, Kai posted my car on every single window. But anyway, let's move on. So, what's your best gig you played in?
For different reasons. The best one I done was when I done main stage in Ecstatic in the Park for what it was.
Yeah.
And it was a festival in Swansea, first one in ages.
Yeah.
And playing the main stage.
Yeah.
But for memories and enjoyment myself was always the main room in Quids Inn on Saturday night when it was rammed.
And it was rammed every week, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially on a Sunday and a Thursday.
Yeah.
Because back in those days, there was something nearly every night, wasn't there? Where you could go somewhere every night.
I think the only night it was closed was a Tuesday. And they used to do a kids' night down there once a month. Mondays
was a student night, so you weren't allowed in unless you knew the bouncers.
Yeah.
Because you had to have student cards.
Wednesdays was students as well. Spielberg was Wednesdays, wasn't he?
Spielberg was Wednesdays. Thursdays, you had us down in Bar 7, me and Kai.
Yeah.
Fridays, a few places. Zanzibar was good. Europa was good. Time and Envy was always Ritty's and Icon or whatever everyone. They were always strong. They were always strong, weren't they? But they were just a different sort of crowd. You had Saturday, then you had Palace or Skip.
Yeah.
Really?
I was always Quids on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That was the one for me. I didn't bother much with Escape. I was still drinking at the time.
Yeah.
So I just obviously everything associated with Escape at the time was all drugs.
Yeah.
Never interested me.
That was more persona kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was people there on drugs, obviously, because it's a dance club. But it's more of a persona. If you go to Palace, you smoke green. I was in the Palace every week. I've never smoked green in my life. you go to Quids, it's full of pellets, and really, it's just.
At the end of the day, if you had a club back in those times and you wasn't pills in your club, you had a shit club.
Yeah.
It
was everywhere. You couldn't avoid it anyway, no. and you can't avoid it now.
No, of course not.
That's another story. But I know boys who can't even go out and watch football on a Wednesday without taking something with them. I mean, it's just a massive part of.
Well, dance music was built on the drug scene.
Absolutely.
So if you haven't got drugs in your club, you've got a shit club. Nobody wants drugs in their club, but
absolutely not. But it's unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it either. You can try and police it as much as you can, but all you can do is limit what's coming in rather than stop it.
Of course, yeah. And plus also, it was 10 quid at the time to get in Escape and like 4 quid a drink. And whereas I was getting Quids in for free and I was drinking for free, so.
And it was only £1 a drink as well, and most of the time in Quids in. Obviously, that's why it was called Quids in. It's a special place. People talk about the steps going up to Escape, but I remember the Quids in steps more.
Yeah.
Mainly because you're walking up there with 2 bags of records and some fuckers getting thrown down there anyway. So you've got to avoid them. But yeah, that was.
It was always for me. I think I was either 15 or 16 at the time. First time I'd gone out.
Yeah.
Hadn't been anywhere else. Wine Street wasn't about. Just went straight to Quids in.
Yeah.
You walk up those stairs and then you walked in the main room and you had that wall of bass bins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you walked through the door, it just felt like someone was punching you in the guts.
And then you walked up the stairs then.
To the
balcony. There's the bar up there. It was a special place, Quids was.
Yeah.
It was a special place. So what's the worst gig you've ever done?
Worst gig I've ever done was probably when I went down. It's part of Jack Murphy's now, but it was Bar 22 at the time. No, Chaplin's Bar.
Right.
And they asked me to open that up. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll come down. I'll play down here. And then I turned up one night. They were like, oh, look, we can't afford to buy decks. I was like, don't worry, I'll bring decks, this, that, and the other. Then I turned up and he was like, no table to put the decks on. Like, little house hi-fi speakers and all stuff like that. And it was that was the worst. I tried it for like 3-4 weeks and it just didn't work. And I was like, nah.
You tried it for more than 1 week?
Yeah.
God.
Well, he did. If things go the way we plan, I'll buy this and I'll buy that. I'm like, oh yeah, sound.
Just living on promises.
Didn't buy fuck all.
I can't remember Chaplin, so it couldn't have lasted long.
It didn't. I think it lasted the 4 weeks I was there.
All right, okay.
Maybe a couple of weeks after somebody else took over.
Yeah, and then they left.
Yeah.
So what's the most random gig you've done?
I've done a few random gigs. I done a street party the other week. That was a bit random.
Did you do that for VED, did you?
Yeah.
It wasn't your street that it kicked off in, is it?
No, it wasn't my street. They all told in my street. Playing a bit of Neil Diamond in the street and stuff like that. They were loving their life. They were.
Was you?
Yeah.
Have you got all that stuff?
Yeah, I got all of that and everything.
Why don't you do a wedding DJ? They make so much more money than what a resident DJ does in Wine Street.
Well, I spoke to Ricky a few times, Ricky Davis.
Yeah.
And he said to me loads of times, look, man, I got gigs coming out of my ass. He said, I'll sort you out. I'm just too lazy to carry all the stuff up the stairs to a venue and stuff like that.
Get Paul to do it.
No, Paul's gone too good for lugging all my shit about that now.
He says that to me all the time. Oh, Greg, I'm getting too old to do all these gigs. And I go, Paul, you going to supply me the sound system or not? Yeah, I'll do it just for you. Then he moans then after he's done it. Oh, I just like these speakers up the steps. I said, Paul, I'm paying you to do this. What are you charging for?
It was good. It was good for years because I didn't have to buy any speakers or anything like that because Paul had them all. And it's like, Paul, I need speakers for a gig. I even done it the other week as it goes. I was going to buy a set of speakers and I was like, the fuck am I buying speakers for? I just phoned Paul. Paul, I said, really need a set of speakers. I haven't got nothing here. I was like, I'm sure he'll find something. And he's digging out this container.
Oh,
I found a set of speakers. I'm like, nice one, Paul.
He's got about 10, just to fill people in. Paul is like the sound engineer guy of Swans. He's been doing it for years and years and years. He's the godfather of that side of it. And
he was one of the first, wasn't he?
And other people have got involved, such as Jamie Turner, which we also deal with. But yeah, Paul is like the godfather of that sound. And if you go to his yard, it's like 10 containers and they're all full of speakers. Don't get me wrong, 90% of them probably don't work.
Well, do you see all the mixers I sent you in the boot of my car the other day?
That was from his, is it?
That was just like the front of the container. There's like a full container of those. He's like, take them on with you and sort them out, see what ones are working. I'm like, none of them are working.
and guarantee that they'd be out in the club if they were.
Yeah.
So who are the biggest DJs you played with?
There's a lot. The biggest would probably be, I've done Eddie Halliwell, Mark Knight when he was huge.
Yeah.
I done with Oxygen, I was.
Yeah.
I think the biggest has got to be DJ Kai.
Does he pay you to say that? He would pay strong money for the money later. Yeah, he would pay strong money for that.
No, I said when we were in Escape, we had EZ there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them. I couldn't say who the biggest was.
I gotta be honest, it was kind of like I was thinking, right, there's obviously Justin's going to get around to DJ and not DJing, fucking interviewing me. Have you got him some questions as well?
No, I'll get some. No, don't worry.
Yeah, I think he's going to do it tomorrow, so make sure you get him some. I don't want to know where they are either. I don't want any preparation or anything. But it was just like the norm kind of thing. Looking back, and it's like, we got Eddie Halliwell in there tonight. It'd be ram full of Aliads, and then we'd have Miss Money Pennies in, and it'd be ram full of transvestites, and then it'd be EZ, and then it'd be ram full of the urban crowd. It was just. It was a normal thing, It was the norm, like it was, and it's probably testament really to the privileged position we were in.
The best one I probably done, not so much I done, was when Engine Room was open, Chrissy S. Remember what he had his drum and bass night? What was it called? Urban something or whatever.
Yeah.
And he booked Pendulum when Pendulum was huge. And they rammed like 1,000 people into the engine room.
It's still a massive scene
The
now,
DJ
drum and
box
bass.
was so big in there.
Yeah.
There was like 14 DJs in the DJ box at once.
Jesus Christ.
I've got a picture somewhere. I'll dig them out. That was a mental night. But like you said, it was just a norm playing with a big DJ.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I emptied Dave Pearce's room in Oxygen.
Okay.
When he was playing upstairs and I was playing downstairs, that was quite cool.
I
I wanted to play in the Trance Classics room and they wouldn't let me play album. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to shut the room in.
And that's the thing, people, it's because we're Swansea DJs, we know exactly what Swansea crowd want.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to play to because you play every tried and tested tune going and you can't fail.
No, I don't think I've played with a big DJ that's come down here, which I haven't struggled. You know, right the way down to Grant Nelson, when you book Grant Nelson.
Yeah.
Great DJ. You know, godfather when it comes to music.
Absolutely.
But struggled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas you played before him, I played after him, and it was just like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. It's and you see that quite a lot. And I could probably count on one hand really how many DJs come down
That don't struggle.
Yeah, that actually lifted the room higher than what we could, and EZ was one of them.
EZ was one of them, yeah. When I played with Mark Knight in Oxygen the first time, he was another one who done it then.
Yeah.
But as I said, there's not many more apart from that.
And that's how you know you're a massive DJ, when you can go into a local city and you can outperform really good residents.
Yeah.
Because they are your crowd essentially. But saying that, they're not really, not anymore. I think it's gone different. I will say that, it's probably something I'll speak about with Justin, but do you think it's different now because so many people come from so many different places? It's not your crowd anymore?
It's all because what I find, I don't know if you find the same thing, but between the years of like when I started around 99, 2000, when I started playing in clubs, up until maybe 2005-ish, maybe even 2010, people were there because they loved the music.
Yeah.
And you play a tune and people loved that tune and it was awesome and you had great reactions all the time. These days, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Unless it's a commercialized tune these days, it doesn't get you any sort of reaction from anything.
No.
You know, and unless it's been, unless it's been hammered on Radio 1, people got no interest in it. I remember one of the first times I went out and I heard Brain Bug Nightmare.
I was going to ask you what's the first tune that you remember?
First tune I remember, one of the first, well, not the first, the first tune I remember was Going in Quids in a New Sound Design, Happiness.
Yeah.
But I heard Brain Bug Nightmare one time, and I think it was Judge Jules playing it somewhere. And I can remember hearing that tune and I think, this is awesome. And I hunted for it on vinyl for ages. But he was obviously playing it promo and pre-release.
Yeah.
And nobody else had it. And to hear that tune, you couldn't go on YouTube and just look for it on YouTube. And you had to go out. Judge Jules played it.
Yeah.
And you had to go out and find when Judge Jules was in Swansea next. And he was like, I'll go and see him because he might play that tune again. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's not like that now. I was playing a couple of weeks ago. I can't even remember what the tune was, but somebody came up to me and asked me for a tune.
Yeah.
I just looked at them stupid because I'd never heard of it. And then 3 weeks later, I had it on a promo list. Well, the whole point of the promo list is I'm supposed to have it before the customers.
Yeah.
And the customers telling me about this tune, like, you know, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
you do get that. Especially, I don't know, did you used to come to London with us quite often when we used to buy vinyl?
No, I was always buying mine if I wasn't getting promo releases, I was buying them online.
Yeah.
So I didn't do the trips to London and stuff much.
It's the only time
I
I
did
could have got.
Cardiff a few times to Catapult.
Yeah, to see Richie Vibe up there. It's the only time that we would get. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we had to pay for them. We got there and say, "Oh, Greg, when we used to go up there so often, we used to go up there twice a month, once a month. Fuck, I was on the dole then. I was obviously DJing. I used to spend my dole money on records and my DJ money on living." So it's like, I used to go up to London. I say now, I'll probably talk about it more with Justin, but I used to go up to London with a certain amount of money and know, right, okay, this is the fuel cost, this is the parking cost, this is the tube cost, this is the money I got for vinyl, which is about 8 or 9 vinyl.
Yeah.
And this is the money for the Chinese in Chinatown at the end of the day.
So it's mental. It's so music's so easy to come by now. You know, like my loads of the tunes that I play now, which were distinctive really to Quids In, like the Beach Ball Kicking in the Beat remix.
Yeah.
Professional Enemy was another one.
Yeah.
You know, loads of those tunes, you'd only hear them in Quids In, and that's why people used to go there to hear those tunes. But, you know, everybody's got them these days.
Yeah, it is synonymous to the venue, innit?
Yeah.
And it's probably why Carl Newman's heavily influenced by the tunes from Quids In, isn't he? He's constantly nagging you for that sort of stuff. Hang on. Oh, cheers, Nicholas. Back in the room.
Back in the room.
It's that time of night. See you after the little boy's room. So, have you got any pre-gig rituals?
No. I used to.
Yeah.
I used to pick a couple of tunes that I'd start with. Stopped doing that lately because you always play them. So
you have given me some abuse of me.
Yeah. It's like every time I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'll start off with this one, and I listen to the last half hour of your set. Then I'm like, he's played every one of the tunes I was going to play. Yeah,
and
no.
I have to put you on before me one week, just so you can hammer me like I hammer you. I don't do it intentionally. But saying that, I've got Newman on sometimes before me, and it doesn't matter if he plays the first.
He's done it to me a few times as well.
The first one, the second. So the three of us are quite similar.
Yeah, quite similar in time. I'm lucky because I've got such a vast collection back catalogue with my house.
That you won't share.
Because obviously it's what I was doing originally.
I
can find a way around it.
You're just skirting over that thing. You won't share them.
I'll share them. They're all there.
You're tighter than asthma.
You've got to remind me about them. I forget to send them out. That's all.
I give you my external hard drive for 2 years. I had it back with no tunes on it.
You had it back with garage tunes on it. That's what you asked me for.
I didn't. I asked you for house tunes. I've got all your garage tunes.
I must have forgot to put the house tunes on it then.
That's what I give it to you for. You probably just took the house tunes off mine, put on yours, and then give them back to me. Like if you were giving me something.
I got about 40 by here, so I'll fill one up and I'll send it up to you.
Right, okay. Trying to think, is there anything that we haven't covered really? Favourite tune?
Favourite tune for me is Big Bass Michelle Noreen. What You Do. It's the Bizarre Inc. Playing with Knife, bootleg sort of thing. Come out a few years ago.
I haven't got a clue.
Well, not a few years ago. Come out in about early 2000s, but he would have heard me. Yeah.
I know if I heard it.
Yeah, definitely.
What was it like? Was it trancey?
No, it's a Stonebridge tune. It is, so it's housey.
Right.
Obviously, you remember the old Playing with Knives, yeah?
No.
Bizarre Inc.
You know where I'm like with music.
I
know where it is in my file, but I haven't got a clue what the names of the titles of the tunes. I just know that tune is that. Then I start singing the bass line or something. No,
you know it if you heard it. I've played it a few times in 100%.
Okay.
And if I haven't played it, it's only because Newman's played it before me.
Well, you probably by the time that you get in, Newman's got off anyway most of the time.
Yeah.
Because
I try not to repeat stuff though, if I can.
I don't understand. There's nobody cares.
Yeah, true.
And especially something like that, which is not obscure, but it's something you perhaps don't hear in every set. Not like a Show Me Love.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, we play a garage set. Kyle would play it.
All 8 of us would play it.
Yeah, all of us would play it, and then you can say then, no, but fair enough. But
Yeah.
something like that, if you're only going to hear it once, how many people are going to remember that Newman played it 5 hours before?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So just get on with it.
Yeah.
Just play what you need to play. What's your favorite DJ?
For abilities, gotta be EZ for me. You know, some of the stuff he does. I can remember him coming down and just playing his sets, and then obviously he just went next level, didn't he?
The one thing that sticks out for me is when he played Sugar is Sweeter, Sugar Daddy.
Yeah.
And he played it over an a cappella, or maybe over a tune. And then he like stopped it and the a cappella carried. And then with his finger, this was on vinyl as well, he like rewound it to exactly the perfect speed.
Yeah.
With the bass line going backwards. And I just stood next to him. My God, my head fell off.
It's when he started doing all that, the stuff he does with the pitch control now and the cue button now quickly.
Yeah.
Doing all that. Watching him, he was one of the first ones who started doing all that sort of stuff.
He's predictable now with it, I think.
Yeah.
Last 2 times I've seen him, he's been very. I know what tune he's going to play.
Yeah.
But like as soon as you hear the first key, like that's Little Man. Oh, that's.
Yeah.
It's Daniel Bedingfield. He does it with the same tunes now, if you know what I mean. So you just think.
But we all get comfortable, don't we? Again, Roger Sanchez, when he came down, some of the stuff he was doing, I have seen him since then doing a few bits and bobs, and it just wasn't the same as that night, if you get me.
He seemed to. I've seen him a few times since and before on YouTube, and he seemed to just. I don't know why. He seemed to just pull up another level.
Yeah.
To be fair, and he's one of those DJs. No, what we were saying, if you ever DJ with somebody, has taken up another notch, and he was one of those DJs. He's the only DJ standing in the house with me. Yeah. He's taken up a notch. I think some of his song choices could be better.
Yeah. But he was so thing with the tricks. I've got a video somewhere. I can't even remember the tunes. I think it was the Bucketheads, the bomb.
Yeah.
And he's playing about across all 4 of the decks, and he's doing all things. The next minute, then he just slams it into the Bucketheads.
Yeah.
And it's the room just went off, and he was just standing there next to him watching him, and he just like, fucking hell, like, you know.
He may have been pissed off because
I got to play after him, you know.
He's probably pissed off, so I took his beer off him.
Was he? Yeah.
He may have been.
I know he had that big expensive bottle of something, didn't he? And everyone else drunk it.
I paid for his rider. I think it was about 600 quid for his drinks rider. No. And he came down. I said, your drinks in the fridge, mate. He said, oh, cheers, mate, cheers. And I was halfway through the set, and I don't drink until I go on, do I?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm usually pissed when I get off. but I don't drink until I go on. And I'm halfway through the set. I said, where's that tequila? I said, give me a taste of it. And he said, I haven't opened it. I said, right, okay. So what about you like 3-litre bottle of champagne? I haven't opened it. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm playing tomorrow night. And I'd spoken to his agent about 3 or 4 days before and said, right, okay, if Roger drank everything that he's got on his rider, I can guarantee you he's going to have his stomach pumped. So what does he want? Yeah. And then he told me then, he said, I've spoken to Roger, he wants this and he wants that. That was about 600 quid. If I'd have bought this whole rider, it'd have been about $3,000. Because
we had it in Oxygen once. They booked Umek in Oxygen.
Right.
And like the rider was like 4 bottles of Grey Goose, 8 bottles of Red Bull, 4 crates of water, fucking this bottle of whiskey and all stuff like that. So we got it all. Helen at the time got it all and thing. He come in. He was downstairs. She was like, "Oh, we've got all the ride over here. You know, we can't give you the glass, but we can pour it for you. What do you want?" He was like, "Oh, I don't drink. I drink water."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, we had a rider for like 4 bottles of Grey Goose." And oh yeah, that's for my management. That is like they just send that automatically in case they come to the gig.
Well, this is what I said to his manager. I said, look, if he drinks all this, he's going to have a stomach pump. His rider was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. And so he said, I've spoken to Roger. He wants a bottle of this tequila, which I couldn't get anywhere apart from online, which was like £180 a bottle.
I remember that, yeah.
And then it was Dom Perignon, but he wanted a certain size bottle, and I couldn't get that anywhere apart from online. That was like 200 odd quid a bottle. So anyway, we bought him with 3 or 4 things. And then he came, he said, oh yeah, he said, usually I have a drink. He said, but I'm playing tomorrow, he said, so I can't drink. Fucking tell me. So
well, I know your mate ended up drinking a tequila, didn't he?
Yeah, me and him, and I can't remember his name is now, one of the managers in Walkabout, James Smead, I think.
James, yeah.
We drank the tequila, and then I went upstairs to cash up and come back, and my missus and friends of ours drank all the fucking Dom Perignon. And he said, oh, I've got something left, mate. There's like a trickle of it. It's like a 3-litre bottle. I'd only been gone about 10, 15 minutes. So I was fuming they drank my 300-pound bottle of champagne. But I think Roger was even more times. I think he's going to take it with him for the next night.
Yeah.
And I said, they ain't leaving you, mate. I said, I spent a fortune on it. If you don't drink it, I'm drinking it. I was like, oh, okay. He's passing them over to me.
Yeah.
She's probably fuming. That's why I ripped it out of the bag. But, yeah, so moving on. I've only got a couple of more things to cover with you, Rick. Next, sorry. I can pretty much answer this question because it's probably the same as the last 15 years. But what's your 18-month plan?
Make as much money as I can before I retire.
When do you plan on retiring?
For the last 5 years. No, it has come a thing. I have been thinking about lately, just just doing events.
Yeah.
Starting something else, just doing events, like just playing on old school events and stuff like that.
The Rasputin's reunion, which is also very popular, isn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, we stick to those. We try and do them once a year, and when we do them, they
you should do that more often, mind, because you're probably pulling in people that didn't even go to Rasputin's.
Yeah,
you should do that more often.
The only problem with that is obviously it's a free event.
Yeah, that is a problem.
In all fairness to Naz, when I do it with Naz, he does give me 10% of the bar take.
Right.
So it's not too bad, but I think because I started it as a free event,
people
to go and charge for it now, it's that step that it's not going to think. I'd like to charge because obviously I was speaking to Mike Lewis from Entrance a couple of months back now, and I'd like to bring a couple of DJs down from that era.
Yeah.
And things. So I would like to charge to get a bit of money in to put into those bookings. That
may be the avenue to charge, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Obviously I done the Ultra Beat night in Walkabout.
That was really popular, wasn't it?
But that was really popular. Well, before they announced that, that's what. When I spoke with Mike, I said to him, I was like, look, I want to book you and I want to book Ultra Beat. And he was like, yeah. He said, I can sort it out for you. Give me a price. And then like 2 weeks later, then Walkabout announced it. And I was like, all right, scrap that then. But it is definitely something that, I said, I got to sit down with James and see which way James wants to go with it. And go from there then.
It's got legs in it, definitely.
Oh, yeah, it's got plenty of legs. The only problem I'd have is if I did do something like that, I think I'd have to move the venue because I don't think Savannah would be big enough for it. And it'd be sad in a way because obviously Naz was good enough to give me the Friday, didn't charge me to do it. give me 10% of his bar take.
Everybody filled his club.
Yeah, true.
Who else fills his club on a Friday?
Yeah, nobody.
Well, there you go.
No. Yeah.
So you've been good for each other. You've been good for each other.
Yeah.
So, right.
What I should do is maybe get him to invest in it and then we move it somewhere, innit? I don't mind spending his money rather than mine.
The problem is he probably only give you 10% of the take-in, so give you 10% of the door then and zero of the bar.
Yeah.
So the last thing I do, which I've done with most of the DJs,
right?
And people have asked me why do you mention yourself, Greg? And I think if I don't mention myself, then people are going to think, do you know what I mean?
That he doesn't want to know what. I don't know.
And to be fair, I don't really. You know me. I've got skin like a rhino. I don't care what you say about me. It makes absolutely no odds. But people say, "No, Greg, why have you done that?" I said, "Just to boost your ego." And somebody messaged me there, and I said, "It's actually not." I said, "The only reason why I've included me is because if I didn't include me, I'd have even more shit."
People would be asking, "Why don't you include yourself?"
Yeah, exactly. So that's the only reason why I've done it. So if we start with, we start at the bottom of my list, PMD.
PMD. To be honest, never spoke to him much.
Yeah.
But that last time in Hangar 18,
yeah.
You know, me, you, Peter, and Justin, I think it was, when they went there before it opened.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a chat with him there. And then on the night then, after he'd had a few, we had a chat then. And he's just, Peter, and he's just sound as fucking. He is the bollocks when it comes to all the disco stuff.
Yeah.
I thought I knew my stuff with the disco bits and bobs, but he just oversteps me easy. Like
he is. He's finding it. His cowboy hat, top off cowboy hat. Did you watch the streams on Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I was the one that was probably shouting it the loudest. Like I
shouted it as well.
Yeah, get your top off, get your top off. And in the end, his missus messaged me. She always does when he plays. She's always got a bright idea after she's had a drink. And they're always very good, to be honest.
Yeah.
And she messaged me. I said, tell him to get his top off. And then she was like nagging him as well. So he got his top off, got his cowboy hat on, broke his cowboy hat. So he's absolutely fuming with that. But
didn't he go offline and then come back on again with his top off again or something, didn't he?
I think he went offline with his top off on, and then he came back online then when he got kicked off with his top off. He's brilliant. Justin,
he's just sound as fucking me.
Yeah.
You know, he whatever way he can help you, he'll help you. House music, you know, he just knows. I know a lot of old house music and stuff, but he just knocks me out of the water again.
He's one of these. You can name a tune, and he will name the label it was on, when it was released, how many mixes are on there, who did the mixes, and where did he get it from. He's just like, I don't know, he's just like a tape recorder of his life.
Yeah.
And he will tell you everything about house music, and I can't even tell you the name of probably the biggest tune in a minute, but I know where it is in my file.
Justin just I said the first time I met Justin was the lovely Laura night.
Yeah.
When we took over the front room of Walkabout.
That's right.
And I went in there and he was playing there.
Yeah.
And I just walked in and I was like, never seen this bloke before. I haven't got a clue who he is. Am I supposed to be playing in this room?
Yeah,
and then he was just like, I'm Justin, how's it going? I'm like, oh yeah, sound, I know. I've seen your name now, like, you know.
Yeah, he had played for me before, but he had left early. So when he's gone on done the early shift, he's gone home before you probably turned up.
Yeah. I think me and him even played back to back at one point in one of the events. For the last hour. It might have been a Sam Divine one. When Sam Divine fucked off to the back room.
Yeah.
I think he jumped on with me and played back to back. And it like playing with Steph, and it was a good match because we similar sort of years with the house music.
Yeah, you've kind of got the same sort of era, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. And it was a good crack.
Carl Newman.
Well, I remember him when he was a little whippersnapper in Swally Fridays. And
he's come a long way since then, hasn't he?
He's come along, you know. I tried offering him a few gigs back in the day, like.
Yeah.
Said to him a few times, you know, come down with me, but he wouldn't. It was as if he was out of his comfort zone with him. And he wouldn't think, but like now he's come out there now. You know, nobody dances on a speaker quite like him, do they?
No, they don't. And that's a good thing with Carl. Yeah, you are right. Really, you'd offer him something which would be a little bit obscure, and he'd always find an excuse.
Yeah.
And it would always be, I'm working, or I can't because me and my missus are doing something, or I can't because of this, and I can't because of that. But now, his profile really has blown up, hasn't it, the last 8 weeks, to be fair.
Yeah. Because he's playing all my fucking tunes.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to take all credit for Newman's success.
Yeah.
But yeah, because his profile has gone big now, and people, and he's showing people what he's capable of in his comfort zone.
Yeah,
he's hungry now. When I spoke to him, he said, "I want to start playing out more." When before he wasn't, was I can remember. I think I can't remember.
We got him up Eden at one point when we were up there, didn't we?
Yeah.
I offered him a few gigs in Ice Bar.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no. He turned up every now and then. He's like, and it was always something else. Then the week after,
yeah,
where you know, like I said, probably out of his comfort zone. But the last couple of weeks, as I said, he's just gone. When he's not stressing, he's gone. Right. He phoned me earlier as it goes, stressing again. Because he couldn't get his stream working.
Yeah, you are his like mentor, technical mentor, really, isn't he?
I can't get it working. What's wrong with it? I haven't got a fucking clue, Carl. I'll be honest with you.
Just
what do I do? Just log out of it and go back in.
He's mad, he is. But yeah, I think this lockdown's made him hungry because he's seeing now what he can do and what he can achieve. Maybe it's probably the same thing with a comfort thing. Maybe he just didn't believe in himself.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, and I've obviously believed in him because I've dragged him everywhere I've gone. So if I've got my own thing, he's always come with me at one point.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm glad now. It's nice to see him. He's kind of got his own identity now, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And he's a fucking nutter.
Mental one.
Jordan Steens.
Jordan, Jordan's great. As I said, he was when Kai asked me to put a Friday team together in Oxygen.
Yeah.
Jordan was one of the boys I went to for that.
Mm-hmm.
Always done well on a Friday. He even got himself onto the Saturday lineups a few times. He's just quality. His music knowledge is good. He's always had a good music knowledge. It's just at the minute he just thinks he's James Hype. So
underrated at the minute. His music knowledge is underrated, isn't it? To be fair,
definitely. His music knowledge, some of the stuff he'll come out with, is brilliant. He loves playing though.
Yeah,
loves playing. That the last one in Hangar 18 when he put us on back to back.
Yeah,
when he was pissed, I thought I was going to strangle him. If he wasn't putting an a cappella on, he was using the effects. he is such a character off a drink. But to be fair, I had dragged him in and made him come in after an all-day wedding, so you can play me rather than him. Because he said, an all-day wedding, so just come after. He said, I'm the Amador. I said, don't matter. I said, and he said, when am I on? I said, last. He was like, oh, for fuck's sake. But he turned up. Did he have headphones on? No, he didn't have headphones on.
Shock.
You told us we were closing at 4 and they told us no, we go until 6.
No, 5 o'clock it was, wasn't it?
So I left at 4. I said, Newman's, you're on your own. He's like, yeah, sound.
5 o'clock. Die Beggs.
I don't know much about Beggs, obviously, just from the group and from when I've seen him play, but he seems sound enough. Loves a laugh in the group.
Yeah.
Loves ripping into Dan, which is sound,
he does it in a subtle way, though, doesn't he, to be fair?
Yeah.
He rips into you, but in a nice way.
Yeah. The rest of us just don't care. We just push that it is, isn't it? Eggs is really nicely ripping into, like.
He is. It's kind of like he's finding his feet, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then, but saying that, I think he's too nice to go in fully.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck.
Anyway.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck to the matter.
No.
And the last one, no, it's not the last one. Dan Thomas.
Dan, as I said, me and Dan. I remember the first time I met Dan. It was in Quids Inn. I was sitting in the cafe bar, and he came downstairs in the cafe bar with Mark Dillon, and this big fucking loud Larry fucker just shouting the odds about everything and pissed as fuck. And then before he was released as Eric Prydz, he was Thomas Bang out the Call on Me.
Right.
And all he kept going on about for about 4 hours was this tune. This tune's awesome. Have a listen to it. Like, Dan, I've listened to it about 4 times. Me and Mark worked together for years. I know a good tune. Have a listen to this tune. I have listened to it, Dan. It's fucking awesome. It's awesome. And then the next interaction I had with him was about a month later when he's doing exactly the same thing about a remix of Khalees. This fucking tune is amazing. Have a listen to it. I've listened to it, Dan. I had it this morning. It's fucking awesome. We've got to start playing this tune. I'll play it, Dan. I'll play it.
And give me a fucking chance. I only had it 10 hours ago. His enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? He calls me up, and honest to God, I come off the phone and I think that this brand is up there with Defected. After listening to him for 10 the stuff he says, I can see us going here, I can see us going there. And I come off, and I think, oh, fucking hell. And then I remind myself, and it's Dan that's been speaking. And he tried selling me some guy from, I don't mind saying it in this stream.
the guy from the Valleys.
Some guy from the Valleys. He said, Greg, you want to get on this guy? He is loved by the Valleys. Everybody loves him. He's the biggest DJ up. I'm not going to mention his name. He's the biggest DJ up here. He's this, he's that. Basically, Dan has spoken to him for about half hour, and he'd ripped Dan off. Yeah, he'd ripped Dan off by selling him a shit set of decks. He'd given Dan the spiel, and Dan had fallen for it. So Dan had rang me up and said, "You want to get him in? Get him in." What was the best thing he said? He will take your place to another level. He's the heartthrob of the Valleys.
Yeah.
Then I looked at his profile. He'd had about 600 friends on it. And I looked at his profile picture. Something like 19 likes, and like 4 of them were his mother. He's supposed to be the heartthrob.
That's another thing. That's another thing he got ripped for in the group hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's supposed to be the heartthrob of the Valleys. No fucking knows him. It's brilliant. But Dan, absolute character.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just Dan, isn't it?
It's great because every couple of months, Dan will always have a prodigy. I remember Slim Tim being his prodigy.
Yeah.
And he selling me Slim Tim's. Oh, I got this prodigy, my little prodigy. He's going to be awesome. And in all fairness to Tim, he did do well. He went on, picked up a residency and picture and all that. But then you guarantee, give it a couple of months, Dan will have another prodigy on the go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he should be he should be an agent, really. Yeah. Because if you listen to him, he would sell sand to an Arab.
Yeah, or buy a boat.
Yeah, or buy a boat. Buy a boat, sell it, and lose money. Final one. As I said to everybody, I don't care. What do you say? Me.
What can I say? It's fucking, we go back, me and you go back a long time as well.
We do.
One of the greatest I've heard play Speed Garage. All the rest were playing two-step mainly. That's why he was one of the greatest. But
just process of elimination. I was going to play that.
Yeah. And the Thursday nights we had in Bar 7 were just a laugh. With you and Kyle P. The Killer Peas.
He still lives in that now, mind.
I know.
He still lives in that now.
Yeah, no, as I said, top mate, top fucking you didn't have to get me involved with this, but you did, and it's can't say thank you enough. Like, you know,
Everyone for a reason, Nicky. Every
everyone
single person that's in this team is here for a reason.
Even though you leave me to deal with all the assholes at the end every night.
That's because you finished about 10 minutes before you're set when you haven't got any choice but to play there.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot off now, Nick. No, Greg, don't shoot off yet. There's no, I'm going. Don't worry about it.
Second I got the money, I'm going. It's like a bank robbery.
It can be a nightmare sometimes. Sometimes it's all right, but sometimes it can be a nightmare.
It depends on who's on before you.
Yeah. Oh no, not so much a crowd. It's just the crowd is brilliant and stuff like that. It's just, you know, everyone's Greg P's mate and they on at the end of the night.
Yeah, because most of them are trying to get fucking gas list.
Yeah.
Well, that's another story. Yeah, it's fucking madness. But thank you very much for your time, Nicky.
It's all right, brother.
I think it's went a lot longer than what I expected to be fair. I knew it was going to go on for a bit, and you can talk.
Oh, I'd love to chat, isn't it?
But I thought you'd be shy in front of the camera, if I'm honest.
No,
I know. Top man. Thanks, Nick.
Cheers, brother.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
I will.
And I'll catch you soon.
Later, man. How do I turn this thing off now?
I'll turn it off, don't worry.
All right, then, sound.